Basic tools needed to do tile work. For starters, you're going to need a way to measure. So tape measure, way to mark it, pencil, marker. You're going to need a Sharpie because a lot of these tiles you can't mark with a pencil. It just doesn't work. Speed square, make straight lines. Trowels. So you got a bunch of different types of trowels. You got V-notch, U-notch, square. It's pretty much a gauge for setting your tile to your wall or floor. So V-notch spreads the thinnest amount of thin set or adhesive.
What does that matter though, like on the sizing? If you want a thin layer?
Yes. So
is that your smaller format?
Every box of tile is going to give you their recommendation on what type of trowel to use.
It'll say what trowel size and everything on the box?
Right, because it takes larger format. You're going to use a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, or a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch to set your tiles. But for like little backsplashes, V-notch or like a 1/8 inch square. Your U-notches are usually somewhere in between these two on how much thin set it puts on the wall or on the floor. Especially if you haven't done a lot of tile, it's probably best for you to read the directions on the box on what you're using, because if you use, if you don't know no better and you grab a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch big trowel and go to trowel out thin set and then put some little sheets of floor tile down, you're going to have that stuff running all up in the grout lines and it's going to be a mess. Also, you always got to take in mind the money you spend on these things, they last a lot longer. You get a expensive trowel, you're going to have it for a few years, even 10, 15 years, as long as you clean it up properly. And cleanliness with these tools goes a long ways.
What else you got? I see some laser level, grout
So
floats.
Laser levels, they're essential to having straight grout lines. They make a job so much simpler than having to, put your level on after you stick a piece every time.
Yeah.
Let's see, grout floats. Grout floats are for spreading grout on your tile. Sponge, probably best tool you could have for doing tile work.
Two different types of grout floats?
Yes, there's hard and then there's soft ones. These are pretty soft. This one's a little bit harder. My preference, I like the softer ones. I don't know why, but I like them. Spacers and clips. These are self-leveling clips that keep lippage out of your tile break. So this is another thing. You get what you pay for on one of these.
Yeah.
You get a cheap $40 tile break, you're going to get $40 worth of breakage. You're going to have nicks. It's going to be nasty.
But this one's a little bit more intense, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about that one, Jeremiah. Let's talk about the use of it and everything.
This one has an arm for your towel to hang over. It has right here a self-oiling to keep your wheel lubed.
Yeah.
It has a spring to go over tiles and have different
waves and ridges
and stuff on it.
So it'll ride that wave as you're cutting?
Yeah. You can change it to a 45.
Wow. You got a piece?
Here you go.
Let's show them how it works. So
Run a line around one time, Jeremiah, and let's see, just try it and don't break it, and let's see how see if you see how you can barely feel it, and it's just barely a little scrub.
yeah.
Another essential tool, a rubbing stone.
Yeah, that too. That helps too.
A rubbing stone after using these to knock off that sharp edge.
Rubbing stone?
Yes,
All right, we'll show
it's
them.
nice.
I think we've showed one.
This doesn't help either.
Yeah, the
not
fact
at all.
that it's loose. So let's talk about basic settings when you're cutting tile and stuff like that. So you want it to be on a flat, level surface, like even your saws and everything? Okay. So for the beginner, how is this? This is a slide cutter, but it's got, what, a wheel there? It's got that little leg that...
Boring wheel, a leg to pop it. This one also has this, which helps.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that is nice. And then it's got this, yeah, it's got this bar in the middle, right?
That gives you the resistance for when you pop it.
Oh, damn. That is nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And these things.
So what is this? What kind of slide cutter is this?
Monolith.
Monolith. And where did this one come from? Wow. So it cut that little piece pretty good too.
These things are very nice to have in a home.
This is about $800. Where from? Wow.
They save you a lot of time from having to walk outside to make,
Forward to the saw.
Yeah.
to use a wet saw.
Less mess too. Yeah. Because that wet saw costs me. Okay.
But there's some tiles you cannot use this.
See that clean cut, that it,
Well, the type of tile mattered too. I
That's
just
it.
noticed that too.
It's-
You know what I mean?
It matters
This little,
a lot.
Yeah, some tiles you can't use a brake.
Anything with this clay backing, you can't.
yeah,
It's
you
so
really
brittle.
wanna,
You're gonna need buckets from a gallon bucket, 3-gallon bucket, 5-gallon buckets. You will always want to have some clean water. When I mix grout, I like to use a smaller bucket,
yeah.
and then, you know, thin set depending on how much you need, 3-gallon to 5-gallon. Always clean water to clean with, because you want to clean the whole time. Because if you let that stuff dry up, it makes life
Yeah.
bad. Another good thing to have the suction cup holders for large format. That way you can press it right to the wall, not have to, you know, set it to the side and slide the big sheets over,
Yeah.
because that creates a mess as well.
There we go. Suction cup.
Yep.
Okay. We'll demonstrate how that works too next time.
All right. Mixing drill. You want to get an actual mixing drill, because if you use your battery powered stuff, you're just going to burn out the motor on those. Good mixing drills, paddles, you know, there's different types of paddles for different types of mortar. Wet saw, they make tile snips for when you're cutting out like valves and stuff like that. Essential tools also are diamond blade hole saw bits.
Yeah.
Those are make life a lot easier. And you can get some cheap ones for about 20 bucks, but you're only gonna get a 1 or 2 uses out of them. You know, the money that you spend on those, you get more use out of them. A grinder is an essential tool for doing tile. And then also with that, you wanna get a good diamond bladed grinder blade. You don't wanna use a cheap one. And don't take your guard off either. I know a lot of you guys like to do that. We don't want to do that and get a piece of your blade stuck in your cheek one day because it exploded and it didn't have nothing to stop it. Next week, we're going to set up a few different stages. We're going to have a spot for floor, shower floor, wall, backsplash. And
Subscribe for more tips.